Start. MTC. Q Start 5 Number 1. Dear Mr. Johnson. Johnson. It has been so many years since we started our school with the goal of providing education to poor children. Today, we have a total of 500 students in our school. 5. We have provided education to about 5,000 students as of today. 5. The number of students at our school continues to increase year by year. As a result, we need to build extra classrooms so that we can easily accommodate the increasing number of students to our school. For this reason, we would like to give you the opportunity to make a donation to this cause. We hope that you will consider this opportunity to help make this work possible. We admire your interest in making essential contributions towards the betterment of society and hope that you are able to contribute to this project as well. Thank you. Yours sincerely, Joseph Walker, Principal, Walker Public School. Walker, Joseph Walker. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Q Start 5 Number 2. Advertisers seek to reach a target audience consisting of those consumers most likely to be influenced favorably by their messages. Mass media such as broadcast television are extremely effective in reaching large, relatively undifferentiated audiences. Such media are useful vehicles for advertisers selling products such as soap, clothes, foodstuffs, or retail services that nearly every household might use. Broadcast television is inefficient, however, for advertisers seeking small or specialized target audiences, such as potential buyers of expensive antiques. An antique dealer seeks to reach potential customers who are both geographically concentrated near the dealer's location and suitable in terms of income and taste. Such an advertiser would use certain periodicals, local newspapers, flyers, and, where available, direct mail advertising. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Q Start 5 Number 3. The babaco is a very hardy plant. Babaco. It is very easy to grow and grows on the mountains as well as close to the sea where there is salt in the air and strong storms. The babaco can also survive slight frosts. Babaco. In Australia and New Zealand the babaco is grown commercially. Babaco. The fruit is up to 30 centimeters long and weighs about 1 kilogram. 30 cm 1 kg. The babaco is sometimes called the fruit salad tree because the fruit tastes like a mixture of strawberry, pineapple, and papaya. Babaco. It's also called the fruit with champagne taste. To taste really good, the fruit has to be absolutely ripe. Full ripeness on the tree is not easy to obtain as the birds like the fruit as well. They will sit on it and pick the juicy fruit flesh. The heavy fruits fall from the tree. A bird's net is therefore necessary in order to protect the fruit. The leaves of the babaco look similar to the leaves of the papaya but are smaller and have only 3 major fingers. Babaco. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Q Start 5 Number 4. The Finnish consumer researcher and futurist Mika Pantsaar talks about taming technology when he describes how we adopt new devices into our daily lives. Mika Pantsaar. In taming technology, the use of a technological innovation changes its nature in the course of time. At first, the new technology product may be a toy-like, exciting object. In time, this toy or ego booster perhaps becomes an essential part of our daily lives. This has happened to many familiar devices. For example, at the beginning of the 20th century, the telephone was considered a miraculous device, and in the 1950s it became an everyday object, and these days the telephone is a necessary commodity, at the very least. 201950. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Q Start 5 Number 5. When we plant a rose seed in the earth, we notice that it is small, but we do not criticize it as rootless and stemless. We treat it as a seed, giving it the water and nourishment required of a seed. When it first shoots up out of the earth, we don't condemn it as immature and underdeveloped, nor do we criticize the buds for not being open when they appear. We stand in wonder at the process taking place and give the plant the care it needs at each stage of its development. The rose is a rose from the time it is a seed to the time it dies. Within it, at all times, it contains its whole potential. It seems to be constantly in the process of change, yet at each state, at each moment, it is perfectly all right as it is. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Q Start 5 Number 6. Better understanding of customer needs can lead to increased sales and a larger market share. Chris Kraft's Vice President and General Manager, Bob McNeil, is a believer. Chris Kraft. Bob McNeil. He has had first-hand experience watching his company improve its products by listening to customer complaints. But sometimes, McNeil says, you have to help customers along because they do not always voice their complaints directly to the company. McNeil. Some boat owners report that they do not express dissatisfaction because they are not sure what to ask for, or they fear being perceived as a nuisance by the boat dealer. Other boat owners lack confidence in the dealer's knowledge about the boats they sell or think that everyone has these problems. So Bob McNeil encourages his dealers to go out and interact with boat owners when they are on their boats to actively ask for complaints. Bob McNeil. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Q Start 5 Number 7. A village in ancient India was being terrorized by a cobra whose attacks had resulted in the deaths of several people. Villagers tried unsuccessfully to capture the creature. Frustrated and desperate, they asked a holy man to intervene. The holy man was also a gentle man, in whose presence even wild animals felt comfortable and safe. So, in no time at all, he located the cobra and spoke to it. You must not injure people anymore. This is not right. It is against the law of the gods. The cobra was contrite, promising not to harm any more villagers. However, the next time the villagers spotted the cobra, they attacked it with sticks and stones, nearly beating it to death. The cobra crawled away and found the holy man, to whom it complained. Look at me. Because of your advice I am nearly dead. How can that be the law of the gods? The holy man replied, I said you were not to bite people anymore. I never said you couldn't hiss to scare them away. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Q Start 5 Number 8. An important part of children's social reality is their role as consumers. Television has an obvious impact on children as consumers in countries like the United States, where television is an almost purely commercial venture and television advertising is an important part of children's exposure to the medium. However, television also affects the child as consumer even when there is no advertising at all. In the 1950s it was found that British children who had access only to the BBC, which carries no advertising, had more materialistic ambitions than those without television. 1950 BBG. Adolescent boys who watched television, for example, were more focused on what they would have in the future. Adolescent boys without television were more focused on what they would be doing. The longer the child's experience with television, the more this materialistic outlook increased. Apparently, the visual images of television create an emphasis on visible and tangible objects, hence on consumption, in defining one's identity and lifestyle. MTC. Good job.